Hi all, I'm Nikki. I'm Indonesian. In this hike, I'm taking my elder sister Kenny with me. We flew from Indonesia to Kota Kinabalu via transit in Kuala Lumpur. Tip 1. Buy a SIM card. There won't be any Wi-Fi at the hut and lodges at Lamanrata guest house, but Maxis and Celcom phone provider signals are still available. We arrived at Kota Kinabalu airport at 11 p.m. and went for a 2 hours drive to Sabah Park, Kundasang via airport taxi. And 2. Plan your transport to Kundasang ahead. Grab car drivers refuses to take your order because it's so far and dark at night. We stayed at the Villa Rinaria Lodge. I took a shower after arrival and went to bed at 3 a.m. In the morning, we repacked our carrier and had breakfast at the dorm canteen. Afterwards, we were taken to the Kinabalu headquarters, which is only a 5 minutes drive away. Here, we put our suitcase in the luggage storage box and register ourselves to obtain the hiking permits. Then we had a 10 minutes drive to the Timpangan gate. We were the last hiker to arrive and the gate has actually closed. But lucky for us, Mr. Henry has good friends there, so they opened the gate for us.
Alah. Jangan abah.
The road is mainly soil ground, paved with wood to form stairs. The path is also neat and clean, so you cannot get lost here as the direction is quite clear.
Sampai pas 1.
Just after a 15 minutes hike, we arrived at Pondok Kandis. We had a 5 minutes break here and continued straight to Pondok Ubah and arriving just 15 minutes later. Here we didn't take a break and head straight to Pondok Lewi in 30 minutes.
Pondok Lewi.
Here we consumed some sweets and take a water break for 10 minutes or so. After that, we passed a cliff with ravines on either side, but safety measures have been provided. Ropes and poles on each side.
Halfway.
After a 15 minutes hike, we arrived at Pondok Bempeni. Here, suddenly the rain fell, and just when we were putting our ponchos on, the rain stopped. So we just continued our hike. We arrived at Pondok Layang-Layang after a 15-minute hike from Pondok Bempeni. It's already afternoon and we're starving. The wind is quite heavy and the temperature is very chill. I put on my windbreaker and immediately after arriving and ate lunch with Mr. Henry has packed for us.
Ayam. Oh, ini kan murah tuh.
Here we stayed inside the container post for more than an hour before continuing our hike. The rain is already starting to fall, but as they say, adventure begins at the end of the comfort zone, and I couldn't be more ready for this. The rain is coming down steadily, and the trail is already getting muddy and slippery, adding an extra layer of challenge to our hike. We have to be cautious with every step to avoid slipping.
Pondok Wilosa. Pos 6. Tinggal 1 pos lagi. Just before this was an open vegetation, so there's no trees to protect us from the wind. And it was raining pretty heavily, but we made it to Pondok Wilosa.
Here the rain turned into storm and we are advised to stay here for a while as it is not safe to hike during the storm this strong. After around 15 minutes, the storm simmered down to a regular rain and so we continued our hike. The soil and muddy track turned into rocks and natural solid terrains, and the vegetation is getting shorter in height, so we also start to be able to see the sky clearer and not hindered by trees. It took us 1.5 hours from Pondok Wilosa to Panalaban. As you can see, the wind is quite strong after the rain. People that had arrived earlier also forced themselves to do some light exercise to make some body heat in order to survive the low temperature. We're taken to the Labarat restaurant, in which happens to be also the place for us to sleep. The Labarat is a rest house that has a restaurant and several dormitories to sleep in. At this time of arrival, people are having their early dinner at the buffet. We have booked the dorm prior arriving along with the hiking permit itself. If the dorms are fully booked, then the hiking permit will not be issued and you won't be able to enter the Mount Kinabalu area. They're very systemic and disciplined to ensure that all hikers have a safe place to rest.
I really like the vibe.
Then we're checking in.
So during your stay here, you will have 3 meals. The first one is your dinner. This is your meals here. Dinner until 7. So make sure both of you go and get the dinner before 7.
Okay.
After that, before you go to the summit, you have
Just literally 10 steps from the entrance of the Bandado restaurant is the Buttercup number 4, Maisain dormitory.
Very, very clean. We have a bunk bed for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to stay there. We're going to take a bath first because we're literally soaked. Okay, this toilet left this space because this is so clean. So clean. This is a mountain and fresh shower. What? They even provide us with towels. Oh my god. This is hot. Just changing my clothes. I can't bear the cold water, so I didn't take a bath. Just wiping myself with wet wipes and warming myself up. Because we're arriving pretty late, so the buffet is closed and we have a pre-packed meal like this. Let me show you.
For your information, if during the trek you're aware that you'll be arriving after the buffet hours, just contact the Labanrata and they'll pack your meal before closing the kitchen. Restaurant situation is already closed and the hikers are already sleeping. I'm heading back to the dorm and going to tuck myself in the sleeping bag below the blanket for extra heat and have some rest.
Just soaked up. This is by far the most comfortable sleep I have had in a mountain ever.
The buffet is operating at 1 a.m. to 3:30 a.m. for pre-summit load and then it closes again until 7:30 a.m. for post-summit load. For the long summit, I would suggest every hiker to do some carbo loading, also has some protein, as those are your fuel to reach the top of the highest peak in Southeast Asia. Another hack is to drink your electrolytes. These are important to replenish the lost salts after sweating during strenuous activities to avoid dehydration that will cause to altitude mountain sickness or AMS. I promise this is such an incredible hack, remembering that you'll be gaining enormous amount of elevation on the summit. People are starting to summit at 2 a.m., yet we just started an hour later and we're literally the last persons to start. We've arrived inside the checkpoint. Here, we were asked to give our visitor card and check in. As you can see, the wind is quite strong, but we're gonna take a break here for 5 minutes to eat snacks. Okay. The mist and fog create an ethereal atmosphere as we ascend into the clouds. There's not much documentation going on as I was focusing on the path ahead. There's also several slippery and extremely slopey spots that require technical roping and webbing skills. Amidst the fog, the cloud suddenly opens and we're given the chance to see how beautiful the Kinabalu is. So we sit and stop for a while. We made it, guys, to the top of Southeast Asia. At 6 a.m. we reached the highest peak of Mount Kinabalu. But remember, we're only halfway through. The ultimate goal is to return home safely. And the descent is just as challenging as the ascent. The way down is through a single rope and creeping down awfully slippery rocks. There's also quite a key on those ropes. It took us the same time to descend and to summit. At 9 a.m. we arrived at Panalaban and immediately changed our wet clothes to avoid catching the cold.
We're already pretty late, so we're going to pack up, check out, and then get a buffet for the food.
After packing, the buffet is already closed, so I ordered and paid for some chicken noodle right before our way down. It's drizzling out there, but we have no other time to waste, so we continued our way down. Then suddenly, the sky showed up. This made our journey way down more enjoyable. We had a pretty fast pace for the descent, above jogging pace, almost running. Me, my sis, and Mr. Henry didn't walk all together all the time. We separated and meet when stopping at every pondo or post to load up with some sweets before continuing our way.
Wah, gede banget.
Inilah makanannya tuh. Kalau hujan.
Most of the trek is quiet. I didn't meet many other hikers. It's very relaxing, and I found great solitude with myself. We arrived at Timpohon Gate at 2 p.m. and it's safe to say that we had a wonderful and successful hike.
We're done!
The van picked us at the gate and dropped us at the Liwagu restaurant.
The place is so nice. We got buffet here and there.
Suddenly, Mr. Rashid came and handed over our summit certificate. Those who completed the summit get the colored certificate, but those who didn't summit get the black and white ones. Then we picked up our suitcase at the Sutra Lodge before staying the night at Kota Kinabalu. We had a flight to Kuala Lumpur the next morning and spent another day there traveling and basically just eating before heading home to Jakarta, Indonesia. Hiking Mount Kinabalu in the rain was the true test of our perseverance and determination. It taught me that sometimes the most challenging conditions lead to the most rewarding experiences. If this video has inspired you to embrace the elements and embark on your own rainy day adventure, hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting journeys like this one. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.